Now, today is an occasion, as I mentioned, for Vigilance Awareness Week. My personal feeling is the vigilance organization has to play a very positive role in the organization. It should not be a witch hunting type of an organization, trying to find fault with and then pillar everybody that comes across. With the result, the way today the vigilance organization working in the railways, not this railway I'm saying, any throughout, officers are afraid to take decisions. Things get delayed very badly. Some time back, one of my colleagues, one of the persons who had worked under me earlier, one Mr. Gopinath Nair, he was SDGM Southern Railway. He told me a very shocking story. After 20 years as a senior administrative grade officer of the civil engineering department, he said 17 were facing vigilance cases in the Southern Railway at that time. I don't think this is what a vigilance organization has to do. See, if there, we know definitely that a smoke will not come out unless there is fire. If you see a smoke, you should monitor it. But you should not unnecessarily harass innocent people so that nobody is prepared to take decisions. Things get very, very badly delayed. That sort of atmosphere should not be allowed. And I made it very clear in these two organizations where I worked, the Common Railway Corporation as well as Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, vigilance is only vigilant. They watch, and if they suspect something, they immediately report to the management. Management should immediately step in and see what is wrong. Sometimes it may be a genuine mistake. Sometimes it may be really a motivated, mischievous mistake. In that case, he has to be caught. He has to be sent out. I think we have to be a little more choosy about the way we take up vigilance cases. We should not en masse terrorize people or demotivate them. This is not that. This is my humble request on this occasion, because I've seen how the railways are suffering because of the way the vigilance organization is working. When I was general manager or even member, I used to fight with the vigilance department quite often. I never used to even carry out their instruction. When they find somebody is wrong, and when they find somebody is guilty and let us come for imposing punishment, I refused to punish this person if I was convinced that there was nothing wrong in that or in the decision of his. Common Railway, I had done it. My CST at that time, there was a vigilance case against me. I told them I will not punish this particular person because I find that what he has done was right. In the best interest of the railway he has done. Although he would have deviated, he had transgressed the procedures. That doesn't matter. You must view it from this point of view. Whether what he has done is in the best interest of the organization or not, and whether he has personally gained out of the decision. These are all what the two litmus tests that you should apply. If you find that he has not done anything wrong for gaining himself or causing a loss to the administration, very often the losses that have been calculated are wrong losses at all. They would not have found out the other advantages because of the decision. I myself had faced vigilance investigations in my early career. But I have come out of it very, very successfully, I would say. Not only that, I know time to tell you about that particular case. The way I stood up, the vigilance case was not against me to start with. It was against one of my PWIs. I was divisional engineer, Palghat at that time. The case was taken up against my PWI. At that time, vigilance department was started only at that time. And we had one Mr. J.J. Rao, he may be still available. He's no more, I say. He was CPO. A man who really made the vigilance department so effective in Southern Railway. He took up the case against the PWI. Then I told him, look here, PWI is not at fault. What he has done is on my instructions. So if you want to take up a case against the PWI, please take it against me, not against the PWI. He readily took up the case against me, registered a case against me, made investigations, went to the chief engineer. The chief engineer was one, Mr. Ramamurthy. He was a little lukewarm. He did not say, he was sitting on the fence, either favoring me or not favoring me. It went to the railway ministry. In those days, the final word was in the railway ministry. Today I find the final word has gone to the CBC. It never used to be the case in those days. Mr. K.C. Sood was the member engineering at that time. He went through my explanation. He saw what was the case. He not only exonerated me, but sent a commendation letter to me for the bold stand that I took and getting a particular work done, although it was against the rules, but benefited the railway so much. And that commendation letter he circulated to all the railways and said, this is what I expect out of young engineers. I think that should be the type of stand the seniors should take whenever such cases happen. I have many occasions, I can tell you, where I have bailed out many of my subordinates, many of my officers, because I was convinced that there was something really wrong. They had done certain things. It may be probably departure from the rules, but it has benefited the railways. Why don't we see that? I particularly remember a case of a person who was DRM in NF Railway, then he became my DRM in Baroda. I was GM at that time. By the time the vigilance cases, there were 3 cases against him. I was member engineering. I took the 3 files to CBC and told him, okay, I don't believe that case is justified. You know, what CBC told me at that time was, Mr. Sridharan, these 3 files you have brought over here, if you think that this officer is not at fault and he has done things properly and in the interest of railway, I will close it straight away. I am not going to proceed further. Case was closed and he became member engineering later on. If I had not taken his case and taken the CBC, I don't think he would have become even a GM. I think we have to be a little more bold, which I find lacking with our senior officers today. Now, Mr. Asman mentioned that we are trying to shelter people who are guilty. Everybody may not be guilty that way. We have to go into the case properly. If it is done with good intentions, the best interest of the railway, even though he has transgressed the rule, deviated from the rule, I don't think we should make it a vigilance case. I had recently a case before I retired from Delhi Metro. One of our chief electrical engineers, there was a serious case against him on Western Railway, Southwestern Railway. Not a very serious case. A case which was such a small little case, and they were pursuing him and making him so unhappy, harassing him like anything. I refused to impose penalty, which the railway board communicated to me. I said, I will not, which is against my conscience, I will not impose this punishment. Then the railway minister took the stand, all right, if you can't punish him, return him back to the railways. We will take up the case and punish him. I said, I will refuse to return him back also. I did not allow him to go back. Ultimately, the railway ministry came from this, and they were pursuing him and making him so unhappy, harassing him like anything. I refused to impose penalty, which the railway board communicated to me. I said, I will not, which is against my conscience, I will not impose this punishment. Then the railway minister took the stand, all right, if you can't punish him, return him back to the railways. We will take up the case and punish him. I said, I will refuse to return him back also. I did not allow him to go back. Ultimately, the railway ministry came round. They said, all right, we will set up another investigating agency. I said, no. Enough number of investigations have taken place. This is not the way you should harass people. I wrote a very strong letter to the German Railway Board. This is not the way we should harass our officers and make them really ineffective in the organization. The case was dropped. On my letter to CRB, it was withdrawn. Such bold steps are necessary. But if you find something really wrong, as I mentioned to you, a smoke will not come out unless there is fire. If you find there is real smoke, you must go after that. Find out the source of the fire, extinguish it properly, and remove the bag, faggot or water, the culprit wood from that area. That is necessary. I thought I would mention this. So bear with me, because I have very strong way. We should not demoralize the whole organization, which is happening today in the railway side. Nobody is prepared to take decisions. Nobody wants to put his signature on the paper. This is not what should happen. And just see what happens in an organization like Konkan Railway or Delhi Metro. Everybody is so strong. Everybody is so bold. So many very, very bold decisions we take and go ahead. We make mistakes sometimes. But the moment we know it's a mistake, we correct it. Management steps in and correct it. I had a very practical thing I had to face one day when I went for inspection. Delhi Metro, early days. The station building work was going on, the piling work was going on. The moment I saw the pile locations and where the pile trees were put and piling was going on, I felt there was something wrong. The piles were not in the right position. I immediately called the deputy chief engineer and said, please check the pile position. I don't know, it doesn't seem to be correct. After the survey was done, they found that out of the 5 piles were out of position. They were not correct. They were in the wrong position. We did not take it as a vigilance case at all. It would have cost about 30 or 35 lakhs to Delhi Metro. I said, forget about it. You have made a mistake. Don't make this mistake again. Start new piling at the new locations. This was not made in the vigilance case. This was not made in an audit para. Most of the times, we are always afraid of our own shadows. Either afraid of the vigilance or afraid of the audit, and we don't take the correct decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, we should come out of this shell. If you want Indian Railways to come forward, to become a very vibrant organization, accountable to society, today it is not accountable to society, I find, then the railwaymen have got to take very bold decisions. I'm happy I got this occasion to speak to you. Some of the things may not go well with Vigilance Department, but there is need. At the same time, this vigilance is necessary. There's no doubt about it. As I told you, we have got a very big vigilance organization in Delhi Metro. We had a big vigilance organization in Konkan Railway. This is a necessary evil, but we should see that least harm is done to the organization because of such an organization that is necessary. Thank you very much for having this opportunity.
Sir, you also spoke about what time, how important the time is. Rather, you told time is money. And you gave the new definition and paradigm of contract management. We will all try to follow it, sir. But above all, we will take your word in every spirit and letter as far as your views of vigilance management is concerned. We also believe in positive contribution from vigilance side, and whatever is there from your words, we'll emulate, sir. Listening to you, as we have seen this audience, sir, it's a treat to any audience. But when the railway family is sitting in front of you, they want something more. Their definitely curiosity is too much. They feel that it is once in lifetime opportunity for them to get all their doubts clear. And in today's turbulent time, when we can see all around, as our GM told, there is deficit of the ethics and we don't have role models. Who else except Dr. Sridhar can show us the path? With your kind permission, sir, now we'll start the interactive session. Lot of questions has already come to us. We'll try to cover as much as possible, but we have to see the constraint of time because already enough sir has told, and whatever further is there that he will be clarifying. 15 minutes, sir? Okay, we'll take few questions. This is something I think you have spoken just now, sir. This is success by any means is celebrated. Success by any means is celebrated. But failures, even with honesty, is looked down upon. Why we don't celebrate honesty, sir?
This is really very true. My own personal experience has been that the honesty has been rewarded very well right through my career. And that happens every time. This is not a right outlook in life, that only dishonesty is getting rewarded, honesty is not getting rewarded. It is wrong. And in our day-to-day life, don't judge things on one or two instances alone. You must take life as a whole. And is it going to give you happiness, satisfaction, contentment? That is more important. You may lose certain areas because you are very honest. Certain things you may lose. Doesn't matter. But you have other compensations in life. I think you should look forward for that. For example, you may not get a promotion. Probably you may be working very hard. You may not get promotion at the proper time. Your junior may overtake you. You must accept it. You'll find that the junior has got his promotion by unfair means. It is not going to be a sustainable promotion. You will get your own turn at the proper time. The most important thing is, you see, the scale, the balance of the divine scale is very even. This you should always remember. You get certain successes, you may get failures also. It's inevitable in life, plus and minus. But you should develop a practice of being contented, being happy with whatever you have. There is one sentence in Bhagavad Gita, Nahi kalyana krit durgadin kaschit durgadin tadakaichari. This is what Krishna tells Arjuna. A person who does good deeds, noble deeds, he will never get into problems later in his life. I think we should believe in this.
There is one question, sir. In government system, mostly, smooth goers are preferred over mavericks like you. How was the going for you in the railway system, particularly before your second tenure? And how did the Indian political system digested you in your next career?
As I told you, my own personal life, I never felt this problem at all. You see, if you are doing the work with the best intentions, with the best of your abilities, whatever is the result, you should accept it. You should not be over-ambitious. Then only you have the discontentment and unhappiness. And whatever you do not do it for any recognition or a reward. That attitude has got to be developed. There is a touch of spirituality required in these matters. I used to keep a board in my chamber at Konkan Railway, Delhi Metro. Even today, as an advisor, I do it. That says, Karyam karomi, nacha kinjit aham karomi. This is from Yoga Vasishta. There it only says, whatever is to be done, I do. But it is not I who do it. If you have that attitude all the time, the success will come and you'll be always happy wherever you are.
Thank you, sir. It is argued that questions are concerning to the recent movements, whatever is going in our country. So it is argued that anti-corruption movement has paralyzed the bureaucracy. As you also mentioned, sir, sometimes it happens. Taking decision is considered most hazardous today. Who is to blame? The movement or the bureaucracy itself?
I think we have to blame ourselves. Why are we afraid to take decisions? What are we afraid of? Tell me. You are not in class 1 service or class 2 service, whatever it is. Nobody can remove you just like that. They can only transfer you, or they can give you a bad confidential. These are the only two things. Or they can stop your promotion. Why are you bothered about it? If you take that sort of thing and take bold decisions, nothing is going to happen. Even if you make wrong decisions taken, of course, you should admit it. Yes, I have taken a wrong decision. Only thing is, such decisions should not be colored with any personal gains or motives. That attachment should not be there. I don't think they should really bother you at all. You must take decisions and go forward. Whatever happens. Why are you afraid of it? What is the maximum thing that's going to happen for a government servant? Many of you, the whole thing is you are difficult to take decisions because you are afraid of a bad confidential. You are afraid of a transfer, or you think that you get a bad, that sort of thing. Why should you be bothered about it? When I was in the railways, even after the railways, common railway, the railway used to send probations for training in these organizations. And it was my point, every probationer who comes, I used to personally meet and talk to him at least for half an hour. Right, my early career I was doing that. Just to inspire him, motivate him, so that he becomes a good member of a useful member of the whole organization. And there I used to tell these people that you should be indifferent to 3 P's: places, promotions, and postings. You should be indifferent. If you cultivate this habit, then there is nothing, you will be quite bold enough to take any decision. In my career also, I have taken certain decisions. I have ruffled the feathers of many of my bosses. I got a bad comment also from one of my DRs when I was DEM. But that did not stop me, that did not deter me. In fact, when I was DEM, I got a bad comment from my DRM, and the chief engineer at that time was such a dynamic person. He threatened the DRM and said, if you don't change this CR of this particular engineer, I will see that this is the end of your career in the railways. The DRM had to take it back and rewrite my confidential. No, it all depends upon your performance. Don't do things simply because you want to please your boss. What is right for the railways, what is the right for the organization, you must do. That doesn't mean that you should fight with your superiors. That doesn't mean that. Very politely, but forcefully, you can put across your views. And it is for him to accept your views or to negate it. It is for him.
One more question is there. What is the secret behind brand Sridharan? Today there is brand Sridharan, some people, they have started calling you.
I would answer it in one word: integrity.